Hello, everybody. It's Diane Brandon Moody, and I'm back again with another episode of 50 Something Love, and I'm so happy to talk to you today. So, today's topic is whatever idiot told you that dating is a numbers game should be fired from your life immediately because they couldn't be more wrong. Let me tell you, people say this to themselves quite a bit. And I'm here to tell you that it's wrong. This is not like, you know, flipping a coin. Every time you flip a coin, you have a 50-50 chance of getting heads or tails. But you have a 50-50 chance every single time. If you have been dating for quite a while and it's not going for you very well, more dating does not make it better. It doesn't make it easier. It doesn't make it more successful. Now, if you're somebody who's never had problems with relationships, you've been in them as long as they were useful for you, and then you gracefully exited, or they did, or something like that, then maybe this one isn't for you. I'm talking about the people who are rather chronic in their singleness, and I am very much including myself in this topic. Because here's the thing, and I every time I hear that you got to kiss a lot of frogs. No, you don't. You do, but you don't have to. And so let me tell you a little bit about this topic. Look, why people say it usually is because they care about you. The people who are telling you this don't know what to say. Maybe they've never had a chronic issue with dating or singleness, and so they don't know what may be going on. And it probably sounds like common sense to them if they say something like, "Hey, it's a numbers game," or you got to kiss a lot of frogs, or whatever. They're trying to be helpful. They care about you. It's just bad advice. So it's kind of the way we think about job applications and sales calls and auditions, all those kinds of activities. Hey, it's a numbers game. Go on enough auditions and you'll be the next Tom Holland in the world. And Zendaya in the world, and you'll be on, starring in everything. It isn't necessarily true. There's a whole lot of luck involved with that, a whole lot of skill, and sometimes you're just not the right flavor, and the next person, maybe sometimes you are. But anyway, it's just not the same. It's like going to Vegas and playing the slots. A lot of people want to say it's a matter of time. It's not. The house usually wins. So let's let's kind of wrap our heads around that. So where this falls apart, of course, is that you are the same person every time you go on a date. Now, I'm not saying you're a bad person. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with you, but you have had a set of experiences in your life, a set of bad experiences in many cases. You're going to brace, you're going to be nervous, you're going to automatically take something he says the wrong way, assuming that he does say something that you take the wrong way. And you are guarded. You've had reasons to be, perhaps, but you're guarded. Your body doesn't know the difference between a really good guy and a guy who really is up to something. So that's the way that that works. You can date 100 men and you could be meeting the same one every single time, the one that you deserve so much more from than what you're getting. And let me tell you, if it's not working out for you, the volume has a cost to it. Like every disappointing date, every man who fades away or ghosts you, every conversation that goes nowhere, it all goes in the jug. In the jug, and you're capacity fills up, the jug being your nervous system. So by date 40, you're just more braced than you were at date 4. You're not less braced, you're more braced. The advice that you hear from people is just to keep on going, and it's the keeping on going that's really wearing you out. There's a cost to that. You get tired of feeling like you failed at every single day, and it may not even be a failure. It may just be not a good match, but for whatever reason, your body and your mind are recording it that you somehow failed yet again another date that didn't go very well. So when the advice is that you should keep going and you keep wearing down, the women who follow that advice the most faithfully and adhere to whatever rules they think are out there, they end up exhausted and, in my case, much farther away than they were in the beginning. So, I want to tell you a little bit about my story and why I feel like I know quite a bit about this topic and why I teach it to the women that are in Simply Irresistible. Um, I dated for 41 years. That is not something to be especially proud of, but it's a fact, and I'm here to tell you the truth. That was the numbers game. I mean, it ran for a long time, and I repeated that a few times up until I realized it was happy horse shit, that doing it in whatever way, getting the same result more or less most times, and then trying again in the same way. Isn't that like the definition of insanity? But then, I always had faith that there was somebody out there for me. I thought I was a pretty decent person. I I know what my flaws are. I know what I could do better. I'm human, but I know I'm a pretty decent person. And so I did work. I did the work. I did a lot of work on my nervous system. I didn't know to call it that at the time. It wasn't the word that's everywhere that it is now. But I worked on that. And I also worked quite a bit on my feminine energy. This is not in any way trying to take you back to 1952. Nobody's trying to make you a housewife unless you want to be. Nobody's trying to take you back to the past. But there is a polarity between male and female. I believe in wholeheartedly. We all have male, we all have female. But if you're looking for kind of an alpha guy, the kind of guy who takes charge, then you have got to be more in the feminine space, which is not weakness, but a little bit more in the feminine space, or otherwise the energy doesn't work. If you've ever seen those little yin and yang symbols that look like two little fish in a circle, that is to show the eternal male and femaleness. This is important. So then at age 57, when I finally was a little more clear. I could hear my intuition. I wasn't braced so much. I was up for dating as an adventure and not like it was a part of me that had to happen in order to be a whole person. I was really more into the I have a lot to give and I'm ready to give that. Um, I did my famous ad on Craigslist and I met my husband. The 300 responses to that ad that I got overnight, that was kind of cool. And my ad is a brilliant ad, but that wasn't the achievement. That was really a byproduct. That was really like what came along as well. The achievement was that by the time they arrived, I could actually receive what was what was actually kind of in front of me, and I could choose well. Look, 41 years of volume did nothing. There were times I had a lot of attention. My junior year in college, in the month of June, I had six different marriage proposals. And believe me, I don't regret saying no to every single one of them. They all were not good, solid proposals by any means, but I was pretty popular at the time. So it's not like I didn't have dates. I did. There were different times in my life where they were less and times when they were more, but but it was after I did the work, the nervous system work, the feminine energy work, and then the dating tactics work. It doesn't matter if you know how to write the world's most brilliant ad. If you are not doing the work, it will not work for you. That's just a fact. Anyway, that's the whole argument. So, my suggestion to you, of course, the first one is Simply Irresistible goes through this in a great deal of depth. And if you want to sign up for the priority list, there's no cost, no obligation for that. You'll be the first to hear when the next date comes up, and that's dianebrandonmoody.com/priority dash list. It'll be in the show notes. Um, when that comes, Simply Irresistible goes into this in depth. But let me just give you a couple of helpful tips in the meantime. So I would suggest that you not try to do more dates until you have a chance to do some of this work. Do the ones that matter, do the ones that you think really have potential, but do not be kissing those frogs just because you think one of them's going to be a prince. If you kiss enough of them, all you do is just get frog lips. Ew, you don't need that. It doesn't work for you. So just take your time and do a little bit slower, do a little bit better quality, if that's an option for you. When your nervous system settles, the man who felt boring, maybe he wasn't lighting you up in the right way that you thought you should be lit up, that boring guy turns into a safe guy, a solid guy, a reliable guy, somebody you can trust, somebody who you can wake up next to. All of that's good stuff. The electric one in You Know the Type, they start reading as familiar. Familiar in the way that you don't want, familiar in the way of like the last seven that didn't work out. So we're not looking for that. We're not looking for that. You want to be attracted, I get it. Nobody's saying don't be attracted. I'm not saying that. What I am saying, though, is sometimes that electric and you meet so quickly on a first date and you think you're madly in love and you spend 17 hours together and don't you know he's going to be the best ever and I finally found my person and next week he ghosts you because he can't handle it. Not to say you're doing anything wrong, that's not the point. I'm saying that that kind of electricity is rarely reliable. So wait until you're different, different you, and guys will land differently. The advice was never a problem with you. It was the wrong prescription. And if you're wondering which version of the you that you've been living, I built a quiz and it only takes you about 96 seconds. It's a brand new quiz. I think you'll enjoy it. It's quiz.dianebrandonmoody.com. Go take the quiz and it'll tell you about where you're landing and how ready you are. It's pretty fun, actually. Kind of funny. I wrote it myself. I enjoyed the heck out of that. So you have two choices. You can get on the priority list, or you can also take the quiz. And I am wishing you all of the best and slow down the dating with the frogs and let's find the prince. Because the thing is, he's not going to turn into a prince. He's going to already be one. And that's what matters. It's been good talking to you. I hope you're enjoying your summer, and I look forward to seeing you again very, very soon. Thank you, Diane Brandon Moody, quiz.dianebrandonmoody.com. And thanks again.